speed matters, especially when it comes to the fastest cars in the world. The car that could just be the new record holder of the world's fastest car has just been revealed at the SEMA show in Las Vegas. The Hennessy Venom F5 inset in yellow above has a top speed projected by the company of over 300 miles per hour. If achieved, this would comfortably break the record, currently held by a Bugatti. High time to take a look at the world's fastest cars, and how they stack up at the moment. Autocar has driven nearly all of these cars, so we'll throw in our driving observations along the journey. McLaren 675 LT 205 miles per hour. A development of the McLaren 650S. The Longtail has a 3.8-litre twin-turbo V8 that produces 666 bhp and is 100 kilograms 220 pounds lighter than its donor. Our verdicts: don't want one only because the 675 Lieutenant is quick. The difference you'll note from behind the wheel is not necessarily how much faster you'd be going than in a 650S, but how much more fun you're having while you're doing it. Aston Martin the 5th 12 Vantage S 205 miles per hour. It may be about to die to make way for the second generation Vantage, but what a way to go. Barely longer than a Volkswagen Golf, the V12 Vantage S packs a 5.9-litre 565 bhp punch, and produces Aston Martin's fastest production car in the process. Our verdict: in a digital world, this mega Vantage is refreshingly analog and its raw, aggressive nature is boldly apparent, just as Aston Martin intended. Audi R8 V10 plus 205 miles per hour. Audi's snarling range topper features a 610 bhp V10 and will do 060 mph in 2.7 sec. We said from a standing start the traction is phenomenal. With no turbos to wait for, the engine pulls instantly, but its intensity builds all the way through the rev range, its note deepening while simultaneously rising, as only V10s do. At some point you become aware of a flash of red on the dash telling you you're about to hit the 8,700 revolutions per minute limiter, so it's time to change up. Bentley Continental GT speed 206 miles per hour with a curb weight of 2,320 kilograms 5,104 pounds. The Bentley is comfortably the heaviest of all the cars featured in this story. Luckily, to shift all that bulk, the car features a 6-litre twin-turbo W12 producing 633 bhp and 620 pounds-feet of torque. The car hit 206 miles per hour in 2015 while testing on the Stuart Highway in Australia. Our verdict: the updated Continental GT speed is everything you'd expect. It's fast, luxurious and immensely gratifying. Ferrari GTC4 Lusso 208 miles per hour. The GTC4 started life as the FF, which was the first four-wheel drive Ferrari. This 22 features the same 6.3-litre V12 as the F12, turned down to 680 horsepower. Our verdict: this is the only place you can get 4 seats, a decent boot in a naturally aspirated V12 engine that revs over 8,000 revolutions per minute, and which is all wrapped in a quirkily appealing body. Porsche 918 Spider 210 miles per hour. The Spider is powered by a naturally aspirated 4.6-litre V8, good for 608 bhp, with 2 electric motors giving an extra 279 bhp for a total of 887 bhp. Our verdict: accelerating in gears, through gears, on the road and on a circuit, the 918 Spider has nothing to fear from any other car in its class. Ferrari F12 TDF 211 miles per hour. The F12 Berlinetta clearly wasn't insane enough for Ferrari's bigwigs, so they decreed that it be given a power boost from 730 bhp to 770 bhp, and a suffix taken from the old Tour de France road race for cars, not bikes. The result is an absolute lunatic, with a 6.3-litre V12 up front and power delivered the rear, with a deliriously happy driver sitting in between. Our verdict: there is loads to love here. The cabin, the noise, the performance, the responses right up to the limit are all exceptional. Lamborghini Centenario 217 miles per hour. An Aventador spin-off, this V12 from 2016 delivers 759 bhp at a cost of £1.6 million, each $2.1 million. Just 40 were made, in commemoration of centenary of the birth of Lamborghini's founder. We got a ride in one at 2017's Goodwood Festival of Speed Hill Climb. We carry so much more speed through the flowing rights and lefts than I reckon possible. Lamborghini Aventador 217 miles per hour. The top speed for all Aventador models is identical, so although the Supermental SV variant is sold out, you can top out at just the same velocity in the standard and still Keaton Sane model. A naturally aspirated, 690 bhp 6.5-litre V12 does all the necessary thrusting to get you up to 217 miles per hour with all the drama that Italy can muster. Our verdict on the Aventador S: pictured. If you crave a theatrical and memorable supercar experience, absolutely buy one. Drama is what the Aventador S does best. McLaren P1 217 miles per hour. McLaren's plug-in hybrid hypercar, whose twin-turbo 3.8-litre engine delivers 727 bhp combined with an electric motor producing 176 bhp, giving total power of 903 bhp. 375 were made. Our verdict: McLaren has created a car that is as joyful and as faithful to throw around a circuit as a kart. Ferrari LaFerrari 217 miles per hour, part of the great hypercar trio of 2014, just as fast as the P1 and with a much sillier name. Our verdict: LaFerrari has been engineered to allow most people to drive it at the limit easily. Jaguar XJ 217 miles per hour. The history of the XJ 220 was hardly easy. Originally built with a V12, it emerged with a twin-turbo V6 instead into the teeth of a horrendous recession. But it was undeniably fast, and hit 217 miles per hour all the way back in 1992. We drove the car again in 2012. Our verdict: it is time the XJ 220 took up its position as one of the great supercars of its or any era. For any other fate to befall, it would be to perpetuate a travesty of justice that should never have occurred in the first place. Aston Martin 177,220 miles per hour. Just 77 examples of this car were built, and it featured a 7.3-litre V12 that produced 750 bhp, and the press could not officially drive it until all of the cars were sold. Our Steve Cropley rode in one in 2012. His verdict: the car is a complete surprise to me, for its sheer single-mindedness. The noise is dominant, the ride is always at least firm. Your handling of a car must always be dominant, never apologetic. I had expected this Aston, strictly for squillionaires, to be a classic old gentleman's GT, hugely potent but, above all, polite and refined. But this is not the case. The Aston 177 is raw. Lamborghini Veneno 221 miles per hour with just 5 produced. Whether the Veneno of 2013 counts a production car or not is a fair question, especially as it's based on the Aventador. It was also extremely expensive, costing €3.12 million each, £2.75 million and $3.3 million, and features a 6.5-litre V12 producing 740 bhp. Noble M600 225 miles per hour, hewn from carbon fibre in deepest, darkest Leicestershire in England. The M600 is powered by a 4.4-litre Judd V8 with a mere 650 bhp, puny compared with some of its rivals. But it's old school, lightweight without so much as abs to sully its purity, and it's exceedingly fast. Our verdict: cars like the M600 that handle well on track and ride properly on the road are few and far between. Zenvo ST1 233 miles per hour. Danish companies Envo started producing St. ones in 2009, and 15 were built. They cost in the region of £750,000, $1.13 million. It features a turbo and supercharged 6.8-litre V8 engine that delivers 1,104 horsepower. Unfortunately, one caught fire when being tested for the BBC's Top Gear. Our verdict: you can't fault the performance, but you're going to have to really want a Zenvo to justify the substantial price tag. Zenvo TS1 233 miles per hour. Revealed at 2016's Geneva Motor Show, the TS1 is an evolution of the stylish, fast but troubled ST1. Electronically limited to 233 miles per hour, it's available to order now from the Danish manufacturer, and is powered by a twin supercharged 5.9-litre V8 with 1085 bhp. This one will hopefully be less flammable in its tendencies. Pagani Huayra BC 238 miles per hour. Named after the initials of Pagani's first customer, the BC is powered by a Mercedes M6-litre twin-turbo V12 that delivers 740 bhp at 6,200 revolutions per minute alongside 738 pounds-feet of torque at 4,000 revolutions per minute. Only 20 were made. McLaren F1 241 miles per hour. Best known for its Formula One team, it remains astounding that McLaren delivered its first production car with such astonishing aplomb, and broke various taboos at the same time, not least making it a three-seater. Powered by a 6.1-litre BMW V12, it also remains notable that the F1 reached its huge top speed all the way back in 1998. Our verdict to drive the F1 was no less than extraordinary, and in its own way it was a lot more of a benchmark setter then than even the P1 is today. There are, after all, quite a few astonishingly fast cars around today, but in 1994 there was nothing remotely close or even similar to the F1. Koenigsegg CCR 242 miles per hour. The CCR hit 242 miles per hour at the Nardo circuit in Italy in 2005. It features a modified Ford 4.6-litre V8 that produces 806 horsepower and 680 pounds-feet of torque at 5,700 revolutions per minute. Saleen S7 twin-turbo 248 miles per hour. Though not as famous as most of the cars here, this is unfair as the car was well engineered, primarily in the UK, and used high-end materials and components throughout. It features a twin-turbocharged 7.0-litre Ford V8 that produces 750 bhp and 700 pounds-feet. A curb weight of just 1,338 kilograms and sleek aerodynamics further help it to dispatch the 060 mph Sprint in a claimed 2.8 sec, and, if you've room, Saleen claims the S7 will touch 248 miles per hour. Koenigsegg Regera 248 miles per hour. Koenigsegg has been quietly and earnestly churning out massively fast monsters for decades, but the Regera adds a touch of luxury missing from previous machines. It's still an absolute barnstormer though, with a hybrid powertrain containing a twin-turbo, 5.0-litre V8 and 3 electric motors, which combine to produce more than 1,500 bhp. Although a top-speed hasn't been revealed, Koenigsegg reckons it'll hit 248 miles per hour in 20 seconds. So, at least that. SSC Ultimate Aero 256 miles per hour. America's SSC's Ultimate Aero featured a 6.3-litre twin-turbo V8, good for 1287 bhp. It cracked 256 miles per hour in 2007, with no electronic driver aids, and cost around $600,000 £400,000. Our verdict: the Ultimate Aero is more powerful and potentially faster than a Veyron, while costing less than half as much. And since when did all-American muscle have to dress up like posh European aristocracy? Bugatti Chiron 261 miles per hour. The Chiron is limited to 261 miles per hour at launch, which suggests it could easily go faster further down the line. With the best part of 1,500 bhp to play with driving dynamics that meaningfully improve on the Veyron, it's surely at the top of the discerning speed merchants list. Bugatti recently set F1 driver Juan Pablo Montoya in the Chiron AO 4000 Challenge. That's 0 to 400 km per hour, 249 miles per hour back to a standstill. He did it in just 42 seconds. It took 32.6 sec to get to 249 miles per hour, and then 9.3 seconds to stop. Our verdict: the Bugatti Chiron will go only as fast as its tires will allow before they explode. Hennessy Venom GT 266 miles per hour. As fast as it is, it's a heavily modified Lotus rather than its own thing, in our humble opinion. But still, it holds the record for fastest ever convertible production car, which isn't bad going at all. Bugatti Veyron Supersport 268 miles per hour. The Veyron Supersport currently holds the official world record. We suspect that Volkswagen will have a crack at beating its own record in the Chiron before too long, and with its Air-Lausanne test track in Germany and its 5.4-mile straight, it has the place to do it in. For the moment, the extraordinary Veyron Supersport keeps its place in the sun. Our verdict: the Veyron Supersport redefines what's physically possible in a car with number plates. Hennessy Venom F5. And so we come to the Hennessy Venom F5. Just unveiled, the F5 has a top speed projected by the company to be in excess of 300 miles per hour, which would make it the world's fastest production car by some margin. Hennessy Venom F5. 24 examples of the car will be made, with an estimated price of £1.2 million, $1.6 million. Power comes from a twin-turbocharged V8, producing in excess of 1,600 bhp. It weighs just 1,338 kilograms, 2,944 pounds, barely more than a Ford Fiesta. The car is built in-house, and unlike the Venom, is not based on the Lotus Exige, but instead uses a bespoke platform. Hennessy Venom F5. While A060 mph time has not yet been posted, the company promises A0186 mph 300 km per hour time of under 10 sec, and predicts a journey from 0 to 400 km per hour 249 miles per hour and back to rest again time of under 30 seconds, smashing the Chiron's time of 42 sec. Hennessy Venom F5. Whether all these notable numbers will be delivered in reality will hopefully be revealed soon. We will be waiting with bated breath. Close.